It's that official time. When we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the power of pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
Episode 414, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, this is the Pancakes and Powerslam show. I'm Chris Featherstone, getting live in living color, getting funky like a monkey. Ooh, if you will, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, absolutely. 414, man. 414 episodes. We are actually, what are we, 3 weeks away from the 8th year anniversary. 8 years on the show. We are 3 weeks away, and I am super happy. I'm super jacked. But heading until then, I have this person is actually gaining some P&P frequent flyer miles. I think this is his third or fourth time on the show. So he's gaining some frequent flyer miles. I actually had a pleasure to meet him when he came to Columbus, Ohio, too. It's crazy, man, because Mark Haskins was on the show a few weeks back, and he said something about this person. He said, you know what? As creepy and monstrous as he is, he's a sweetheart of a guy. He's just a nice guy. And I can actually attest to that because I talked to him live here in Columbus, Ohio, when ROH came a few months back. And by that time, he was already on the show like 2 or 3 times. And yeah, he's just a nice guy. But you know what? As nice as he is not human. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my man, PCO, how are you tonight, sir?
Hey, I'm great. What about you, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. It's great to have you on the show again.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you know what? All the other times, it's funny because your times on the show kind of gravitated to where you are now. Because I remember when you first won the show, I was talking about how like you're like the better version of the wrestler because you're not old and washed up. And I remember saying that. And then I was lobbying for you to win the Ring of Honor championship. And you were talking about how much of an awesome feat that would be, an awesome accomplishment that would be, and how you really changed your gimmick to make that a thing. And then you got closer and closer, and then you started to be one of the top contenders. And then I think right before Final Battle, we talked, and you were going against Roosh. So it all kind of led up to you being Ring of Honor World Champion, and now the time has come. Ring of Honor World Champion PCO. How does it feel, man?
Well, I'm great, man. It feels good. It was like a hard weekend last week. Because I mean, I've had a great match against Dragon Lee, which was probably one of my favorite ever.
Nice.
Guy is so talented.
Yeah, he is.
And that was in Nashville, Tennessee. And wow, that was awesome.
He's still really TV champ now. He's still TV champ, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I lost the title the next night against Askins and Roosh. So Roosh has got it back now.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit disappointed about that, but I'm on the line for a title match at Lakeland WrestleMania weekend for the NWA title against Nick Aldis. That's going to be my match,
Yeah.
and also there's so many things that can happen. It can switch overnight. It can turn on a dime.
Yeah.
There's so many things up in the air, but
Yeah.
we'll see how everything goes.
Yeah.
It's been from transiting from 2019 to 2020. It's been like pretty incredible. Like with all the news, Marty's re-signing with Ring of Honor, which was a shock to the wrestling world and community.
Yeah.
So so a lot of things.
Very interesting, man. So it's interesting because as far as I remember, the triple threat was scheduled for the 18th anniversary. Now it's just Haskins and Rouge. Why is that the case? Was there a change of plans, or what was that all about?
The stipulation of the match was the guy who doesn't get beat during the match gets the chance at the title.
Yep. Yeah.
So since Rouge, Nick Aldis, like I had the match won. You know, I just hit Mark Haskins. The moonsault was like on my way to win. 1, 2. Rouge pulls the ref out. I look at the ref outside the ring. What's going on? Turn around. Nick Aldis is there. Hit me with the belt. Then that sat me in the corner, and then I got the horns. And
man, well, the bright side is you can be Ring of Honor champ, and then just lost it. I think was a couple of days ago, this past weekend.
Yeah, been the loss of Saturday night.
And then when you have a chance to be NWA champ, so that's that's huge, man.
Yeah. And also, you never know. Like when you lose a title, you always have the right for a rematch.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I've got a rematch in my pocket. I've got the NWA title coming up April 4th, and also the way I look. If it was before in my career, I'm sure I would have been really mad, and I would really be like in a different mood. But now with the attitude that I've got, it's like, okay, I'm still peaking in the game, as far as performance and things like that. I've done things with Dragon Lee that I've never done before, walking the ropes, doing some crazy things, like different than what I've been doing. Like people were really like on their edge of their feet and on the edge of their seats.
Yeah.
The whole ringside was standing up, and the people and the stands, like I could see it from the ring. They were really into the match, and
well, they're always in your matches. They're always in your matches.
Yeah, but that was really, really special.
Yeah,
and I feel that when something happens and you really can't accept it, inside of you and your heart, and then that this is hiding something even bigger.
Yeah.
For me, this is hiding something even bigger because I know what I want, and I know what I've been wanting all my life, and I'm not even near of what I wanted to accomplish in this business. I know it's coming soon. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, how everything's gonna take place and take form and manifest. But I can assure you there's something really big ahead of me.
Yeah. Well, you said that the first time when you were on the show, and it led to a Ring of Honor World Championship. So, so say it again.
That was just a taste. that was just a taste of it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it gave me just the perfect experience. I've worked a lot of match to get there, and once I was a world champion, I main evented a lot of shows, and it gave me great experience that I did not before. I did a bunch of times before.
Yep.
But when you main event a show, let's say for 10 nights in a row or whatever, times that it might have been since going into the finals and the eliminations and getting the number one contender and getting this and that and all the titles that I've won during the year 2019. And so it's just a big boost as far as confidence too. It's enormous. So which is very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very happy with the outcome. I mean, I only see positive about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You were dual champ too, right? With you and Brody, dual tag champs, ROH and
Tag
NWA?
champs, 6-man tag champs.
Yeah.
NWA tag champs, Crocker Cup winners.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive resume, man.
Yeah, that was pretty good. 2019 is a hell of a year.
And add on 3 WWE championship reigns? The tag team?
Yeah, and 3 WWE tag team and 1 WCW hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty.
It's huge, man. That's a pretty impressive resume for.
That's all right. Still a few that not a few titles, but I just want to do it in a way where, like I always say, I really want to impact this wrestling industry.
Yeah.
With a huge stamp, and it's nothing about it's not even about my ego. It's just that to accomplish what you want to accomplish, you have to go through so much in your mind, mentally, physically, as disciplined as you got to push yourself all the time. It'd be so easy for me to say, okay, I've done that, I've accomplished, I've been a world champ. There's nothing else in front of me, but no, there's so much more in front of me. And
absolutely.
You have to accomplish the goal that you've set for yourself.
Yeah.
Before you can move on to another field or another goal. And even though I became the world champion, I wanted to, pack solid house to really electrify, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people. I wanted to be like the man, and that was the goal, to do big ratings, to draw ratings, to draw gates, to draw viewerships, all those things. I wanted to impact the wrestling world like Austin did, like Goldberg did, and when he did it, really a huge impact, Hulk Hogan and The Rock. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice.
So I want that kind of impact on the business.
Yeah. And I keep saying, man, I've said this on my show before, and I still stand by it. I still want, if it was up to me, I would want Bully Ray to win the Ring of Honor World Championship, and you chase the title with Bully Ray being the one of the biggest heels and best heels. Because I always say, with every good babyface, there's a good heel to dance with. And Bully Ray is such a strong heel. If it was up to me, I would have him win the Ring of Honor World Championship, and you chase, the Ring of Honor Championship with Bully Ray at the helm. I think, to me, that would just be a really good dynamic. Everybody loves PCO. Everybody hates Bully Ray. It's just a match made in heaven.
I agree with you. I agree with you. He's such a heel.
And it'd be a hard-hitting match too, like a super hard-hitting match. Yeah, I would love it.
Oh, whatever it takes. I always say, it's hard to plan things that happens organically.
True.
And once you see that it's there organically, then you got to put the rockets under the guys.
That's right.
It starts taking form.
Yep.
And I think when you try to pre-plan too much ahead of times and things like that, which you have to do sometimes because you still got to roll the show, you know.
Yeah.
But at one point or another, you see that things are setting up, and then when things are setting up them by themselves, it's organic.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way you can do about it except just putting the rockets under and just let it ride, you know, and just make the most of it. You know,
I agree.
that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
I
So that's
agree.
why I have no regret that, and the fact that I've lost the title because you know it was not happening. It was good. You know, like we did a great house in Nashville. We did very good house in St. Louis, Missouri. I think we're gonna do really good in Vegas next week.
Mhm.
Uh, but you know, it's not what I wanted. You know, as far as the vision that I had. I mean, about you know, I really wanted to boom. You know,
Mhm.
overnight, like bang, it's huge. You know, all over the place. So we'll
What's
see
your
how it's gonna turn out.
what's your spot for the anniversary?
I think it's a tag match. I think it's me and Brody King against the Briscoes.
Mm.
It's a tag match. Me and Brody King in a tag match. Like I haven't like sometimes you know because I see the graphics before most of the times you know so I knew it was coming up. But well, tell you the truth, you know I focus so hard on you know getting in the gym and working, doing what I do best. You know like. Going through my routine and I always fly a couple of days like usually it's a day before showtime just to get in my bubble, get in my own world,
Yeah.
focusing on my match and other than that I just focus on my routine, focus on my daughter. She's 11 years old
Mhm.
and then when it's time to jump into business I'd like to fly a day earlier and just totally put my mind into it.
Absolutely.
That's how I've been doing it.
Nice, nice. Cool, man. Well, we're going to open it up for a few questions, man. Like I said, you're getting your frequent flyer miles, so I'd imagine that this won't be the last time that you'll be on the show. So, and I enjoy you being on the show each time, man. So I really appreciate it, definitely. Um, all right, so let's open it up for questions. We got Robbie saying, if you haven't gotten into wrestling, what career do you think you would have the skills to do and would enjoy doing? Good question.
Well, I really like movies. Uh, there's two other like passion that I've got. I've got this passion for you know I would have loved to. Well, I think that's part of it. The deal eventually to doing some movies and going into cinema, but
Mhm.
also like. To sometimes invited, you know, to speak up to people, and I really like to inspire people with my words, with my talk, and uh, I always got inspired by so many other guys growing up. So that's something that I think I could be really talented at, you know.
Nice,
So being
nice.
a speaker, uh, I'd like to do that.
Jamie's asking, what European talents do you feel should be in promotions in the States?
Uh, What do you mean, like the whole promotion, or just talents from any other
Talents in
promotion?
Europe that should be in United States promotions.
Well, there probably there's a lot that made the transition. I mean, Dragunov and Walter, and there's probably much more. But since I'm out of the indie scenes, I don't have the chance to you know be on the look of the new talent that much.
Hmm.
Sometimes I just go on my feed and watch what's up with new talents. Uh, but I don't know. There's so many young talents in England and Germany, all over the place. So I really don't have any names to put up in the air like that. But
Mark
sure there's
Haskins
a lot.
is one that came from Europe, came from the UK to Ring of Honor. So that was
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Well, you got
Go ahead.
yeah. We signed Select from Australia. We signed a girl from Ireland or from Scotland. She's got like a weird accent, and I can't even pronounce her name right. But
Oh, really?
we've been signing a lot of people from overseas lately.
Oh, nice.
Joe Henry.
Yeah, Joe Henry. I believe in Joe Henry. Yeah, he's funny. Jason, who's your dream opponent would be to work with in the ring?
Oh, there's so many. For me, it's hard to answer that questions because, like I said, I want it to happen organically. I want something to happen that's gonna just grow from itself, and it doesn't have to be someone in particular. But there's so many great names. I think I haven't wrestled. I'm sure I haven't wrestled Will Ospreay yet.
Really?
Keita Ibushi.
You ever wrestled Osprey yet?
No,
Oh.
I never wrestled Ospreay, neither Keita Ibushi. I really like what Ibushi was doing when he was with Kenny Omega. But yeah,
Golden
Ibushi,
Lovers.
Ospreay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
they're the names, but I'm hoping, I'm just hoping something, like I said.
So New
something
Japan.
like
So New Japan on the horizon. Do I hear a New Japan desire?
I was supposed to go there with Brody King in December in Tag League. My visa was ready, everything was ready, and Brody tore ACL, and so Marty can come with me because he was on vacation with his girlfriend in LA or somewhere, and he had just booking his vacation, so we had to cancel the New Japan trip. So that would have been cool.
That would have been cool, definitely. What's your so WrestleMania weekend? You will be doing some NWA. What's the details on the NWA?
Well, I'm wrestling
Nick
for the
Aldis?
NWA World Title.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Lakeland, April 4th.
In Lakeland?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that publicized yet? Because I want to give you a plug.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Okay. Yeah.
We've seen Nick hitting me with the title, his title.
Yeah, I did see that.
Causing me to lose the world title, the ROH world title. So that's up in the air right now. That's my focus. And I got a bunch of things too. I have like a big show coming up with Crash in Mexico, Tijuana. It's gonna be my debut in Mexico.
Oh, so nice.
They always have 7,000-8,000 people. They're always sold out. It's a huge arena, and I think when the Frankenstein music's gonna hit there, it's gonna be pretty wild. So very looking forward to Mexico.
So Jim Johnston composed your song, right?
Yes, he did. Actually, yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Jim Johnston? I think that he should be in the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on that?
I think so.
Yeah,
he's a genius.
He is.
He composed so many musics or so many great superstars that he definitely should be a Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
totally.
Definitely.
I'm rooting for him. I don't know what the relationship is with him and Vince McMahon right now, but he should be there for sure.
I would imagine it's good. He's composed hundreds of songs for him. I would.
For 30 years.
Yeah, exactly.
30 years, like
right. Yeah.
And the thing about Jim, he knows so much about the business. He's not just someone who writes music. He knows the business. Like,
Yeah.
I've had conversation with him where he totally blew my mind with the way he was looking at my character and the way that he wanted the character to evolve, which I was not able to translate his vision to ROH as much I would love to, because if I was hoping to totally translate his vision for the French Canadian Frankenstein to a Ring of Honor, but now I mean, as happy as I am, I think that character needs so much more work on entrance. I mean, this character is, it's the show before the show. That could be the greatest entrance in pro wrestling history. It could be bigger than Undertaker. We've got me and Dexter. We've got ideas. Well, we need a budget for it, but I mean, I know it's gonna happen. I don't know how and when, but people will freak out because they got a hell of an entrance. I've got a hell of an exit once I win the match. People, I've never seen anything like that, and I think that's going to totally transform pro wrestling, the way pro wrestling is done. I mean, the match itself, very important, but this is something that is never seen before.
That's awesome, man. Good stuff. All right, last question, and I'm gonna plug. See, for some reason, I got a it has been publicized everywhere. I get emails from ROH. For some reason, I was thinking the Crockett Cup, because the Crockett Cup is the 19th, and I got that confused. Yeah. So you'll be going against Aldis at the Supercard of Honor, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's in Lakeland. Okay, yeah, I've been to Supercard of Honor before. So yeah, I actually, it was funny because when I did media in Orlando for WrestleMania 33, I went to the Supercard of Honor that year, and the main event was the Young Bucks against the Hardy Boys in a ladder match. So it was pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty nice show. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big building there. We're probably gonna get like I don't know, 10,000 people or something. It's a huge building.
Yeah, it's if it's the same. Okay, I think that might be a different building that I went to.
We ran that building last year. Just on a regular tour. But for Lakeland, we got like a lot of New Japan guys coming in, a little bit like when we did the Madison Square Garden in New York last year. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
How we do.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, a few more questions for you before you go. Chris is asking, what wrestling legend and Hall of Famer was your inspiration for getting into the wrestling business?
I've said it a bunch of times. Hulk Hogan was a really big key point, because I went to see WrestleMania 1 when I was probably 14 at that time, and it was on closed circuit, and I went to see it in Montreal. It wasn't even like pay-per-view yet. It was closed circuit, the first, maybe 2 or 3, I would say, the first 2. I don't know, so I decided to pay if I was going to a live show, but it was a giant screen in the arena, and I was really impacted by Hogan. But in Montreal, for international wrestling, I was really impacted by the Road Warriors. They really came big, and they really drew money like crazy. I mean, they would announce the Road Warriors, and then they would sell out. It was not even WWF at the time, and they would sell out the Montreal Forum, 18,000 people.
Yeah.
And each and every time I was there.
Yeah.
And it was just I'd say just they were the first one to do squash matches.
Yep.
In AWA, and and just their entrance.
Oh yeah, my
Stunning out
all-time
crowds.
favorite tag team is the Road Warriors. Yeah, I've had Animal on my show. I actually chatted with him yesterday too. I had him on a show a few years
A
ago.
good friend of mine.
Yeah,
I
Joe's
like
cool.
Joe.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just chatting with him yesterday. So hopefully he'll be on the show again. He said he'd like to come back on the show again. So I look forward to that. All right, last question from Brian. How much longer do you see yourself wrestling?
Like I said many times before, it's not even about time for me. It's just about accomplishing myself, you know, doing what I knew that I was put on that earth to do. And it's a burning desire there in my heart. And, you know, once I'm done, you know, once I accomplish what I always wanted to accomplish, like I was telling you, you know, selling out and doing like buy rates and crazy ratings and things like that. Once I do that, you know, I'll move on to something else for sure.
The stunt man.
I'm not the type of guy. I'm not doing it. I'm not in this business for the money or the prestige or for being a star or for this. It's and I'll be totally honest with you guys. I'm in it for like growing. You know, I've got to grow personally in order to achieve what I want to achieve. And when I do that, and then it's time to step up to the next goal. And I just so I don't know if it's gonna take a year or two or three or how much time it's gonna take, but it's all about accomplishments. You know, it's not about the time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, there's more questions, but I do want to respect your time. So with that being said, I am going to plug this right here, the Super Card of Honor. Let me go ahead and enlarge this so people can see the Super Card of Honor. There you go. So the fourth or the 14th edition of the Super Card of Honor, that is April the 4th, 2020 in Lakeland, Florida. It's really fun. I went to the last Lakeland show, the Supercard show, like I said. So it is Saturday, April 4th, and it will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the RD Funding Center. That is 701 Lime Street, 33815 Lakeland, Florida. And so basically, doors open at 5 p.m. Expected end time is 11 p.m. And PCO will be competing for the NWA World Championship against Nick Aldis. Do you have Corey said he's your biggest fan. PCO, I can't believe it. I'm your biggest fan.
What are you? I didn't.
He said he's your biggest fan.
Question. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Yep. Do you have any closing words to say to Nick Aldis?
If I have any.
And do you have any closing closing words to say to Nick Aldis?
Oh, to Nick Aldis. Well, not really. I'm just getting ready for him. I just want to take his title. I don't care. That's it.
I ain't got no words. I just want the title. Good stuff, man. Well, it's been a pleasure once again, PCL. Appreciate you coming on the show again tonight, man.
Yeah, it was cool. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Anytime, Chris.
Thanks a lot, man.
No problem. But anytime, man, just call me. You're one of them. Consider you like as a good friend. You know, since I've met you, and I think it was in Columbus, right? And,
yes, sir.
You're so cool, and
thanks,
like nice guy to talk to, and you know, on and off the mic. So is awesome. And shout to me anytime you need to.
That means a
any
lot,
of you
man.
with something big happen in my career. It's no problem.
Awesome, man.
I'll make myself free.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot. I
Congratulations on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
That's cool, man.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right. That's a lot coming from PCO. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the kind words. Definitely appreciate the kind words, man. Big debt of gratitude to the Ring of Honor World Champion, or as of this past weekend, the former Ring of Honor World Champion, PCO. All right, y'all, let's jump into some Super Showdown. Let's jump into some AEW Revolution. We got a lot to talk about. I was looking at the chat, and you guys are talking about my Mario shirt. Yes, it is a Mario shirt. It is Mario. There's one tunnel thing, and there's another one with the plant, with the chompy plant, and it says choose wisely. So that is my Super Mario shirt. Speaking of shirts, you know what's about to happen, right? Pancakes and Powerslams merch. I got it for you. I do it for you. I got it for you. Look, get your pancakes and Powerslams. Thank you, Brian. That's a nice segue. I appreciate that, Brian. I got your Pancakes and Powerslams merch ready for you. This is all you got to do. It's like $6 a month. Patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. If you are a patron for 3 months, this is what you get. You get a honorary Pancakes and Powerslams shirt in the color black. Pancakes and Powerslams shirt of your own. For those who are patrons for 3 months, you get your Pancakes and Powerslams shirt. Guess what, though? Guess what? If you become a patron for 6 months, you get the newly designed merchandise. This is hot off the press. It's only a week old. I debuted this on my show a week ago. You get the Wrench Mob t-shirt. Wrench Mob. Oh, man, that is amazing. That is awesome. So, Wrench Mob on the front, and on the side, you get the Pancakes and Powerslams logo right there. And on the other side, you get your name right on the sleeve. You get your name right on the sleeve. That is big. That's bigly. That is huge. So you get your Wrench Mob t-shirt for being a 6-monther on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. So I'm ready to have some fun, y'all. I'm ready to jump right into this and have a lot of good fun. A lot of good, clean fun. See what we got in the PNP Nation. So Marissa's asking about Goldberg winning the title. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So might as well just jump right into Super Showdown. I loved Super Showdown. I mean, I loved it. I was a huge apologist for Super Showdown. For those like Marissa, who has been a weekly PNP Nation member, look, many people know, most people know, especially if you followed my show, this will be the 8th year coming up. This will be the 8th year coming up. Oh, that's a good one. Hashtag ask Chris, but I do see that question, Brian. That's a good question. I'm gonna get to that. A funny story with that question too, Brian. Yeah, I loved Super Showdown. For those who listen to the show and watch the show weekly or have been for any amount of time, this is the 414th episode. It'll be 8 years in a few weeks. Actually, we're celebrating our 8th year episode in 4 weeks' time. 4 weeks we will celebrate our 8th year episode, and we have two live video guests on the Pancakes and Powerslams show on the 8th year anniversary. So stay tuned for that. Two former WWE guys. And those two have also been in TNA. So that's the hint that you get. 2 for 1. March 31st. I'm super excited. 8th year anniversary show. Tuesday night. 2 live video. So 2 at the same time. So I'm really excited about that. But for those who watch the show, that y'all know that I'm not a WWE apologist. I bash WWE quite a bit on the show because especially knowing some things that I know now, there's some just shady business a lot of times when it comes to just pushing people and not pushing people. Like, I know some personal things. I've talked to some personal people. Like, I talked to people personally, and I'm not liking it. But it's one of those things that, here's the thing. I'm a WWE lifer. Okay, I've been watching WWE for 35 years, just about. I think this has been about 35 years now, 35 years. And there's a lot to complain about the WWE. Trust me, I know. Listen to many of you, most of you who are on right now are weekly listeners, weekly attenders, weekly people that are on this show every week. So you know good and well that I've had my choice words to say about WWE product for sure. But I am a WWE lifer, and I would imagine many of those who still complain and watch WWE, you're WWE lifers as well. All right. So here's my gripe about the lifers who complain so much. Find something good to come out. So when something actually happens that's good, don't just complain just to complain. And there's a lot to complain about, but when there's a good moment, that's one thing about a lifer. That's the same thing as being a sports fan of a particular team for all of your life. I've been a Tennessee Titans fan since 1996. Okay. We got close in 99. We went to the Super Bowl. We were 1 yard. We were 1 yard away from having a chance of winning. Okay, Kevin Dyson 1 yard away. 1999. That was 21 years ago. All right. So I've been hanging on for that Super Bowl, for a Super Bowl appearance, not a Super Bowl win. So I've been hanging on for that Super Bowl appearance for 21 years. This year, we beat the Patriots, and we almost, we banged against the Chiefs, had a really good showing against the Chiefs. Chiefs ended up winning the whole thing. So I held on, and I'm still holding on every year. I hope the Titans win. And my whole lifetime, I've been a Cleveland Indians fan for a long time. Okay. Every year there's a lot to complain about. Just like this year, just like this past year, that we were leading, the AL in our division, just being one of the top, and then we just started, like, toward the end, we basically lost our spot in the wild card. And so lots to complain about. But guess what? This year, I'm going to be a Cleveland Indians fan. This year, I'm going to be a Tennessee Titans fan. I made a whole live show, an impromptu live, Facebook Live, after Ohio State lost to Clemson. Okay? Now, with being an Ohio State fan, actually, it's not as bad, and it's actually more relieving because, we won a championship in 2014 and in 2002. So in my lifetime, we've won 2 national championships. So it's not as bad. Duke, I've experienced. I've been a Duke fan since 1990. So I've experienced 4 national championships. 91, 92, 2014, 2000, I think 4. Let me see. Duke basketball national championships. I'm a huge Duke fan. Let's see. Let me find out. Let me look at the national championships. I do think that was it, though. I do think I've experienced 4 national championships for Duke. Yeah, so 95, 91, 92, 01, 10, and 15. So I've experienced 5 national championships with the Duke Blue Devils. So that's not as bad. that's not as bad with Duke for sure. And then they went to the championship game in 94 and lost to Arkansas by just 4 points, and then only lost to UConn in 99. I remember that game actually. Only lost by 3, so it was super close. So yeah, I mean, and then our 1990 they went to the national championship game, lost to UNLV. They got blown out by UNLV. I remember that game. That's actually when I started becoming a Duke fan, 1990. So yeah, point being, Duke actually makes me happy, the happiest as a fan, because they achieved so much. But Ohio State, they're good. Tennessee Titans haven't won a single national championship, Super Bowl with me as a fan. Indians, same thing, haven't won a single. Same thing with the Columbus Blue Jackets, not a single championship. But the point is, I still am a fan the next season. And when there's a good spot, when there's a good moment, there's a lot to complain about. Same thing, like I said, with the Tennessee Titans, there's a lot to complain about. But when the moments are good, celebrate them. And WWE has not wavered from what the problem is with WWE. A lot of times they're trying to become niche. They're trying to kind of cater to the fans and be like super flip-floppy, and I'm starting to see too many Canadian destroyers and all that mess. But stick to your guns. Your sports entertainment. Don't waver from being a sports entertainment company. At Super ShowDown, we saw sports entertainment. That's what I grew up in the mid-'80s to be a fan of. When I was a little kid and I started watching wrestling in the mid-'80s, that's when I became – see, you said, Jamie, you said try to be a Chicago fan. The Cubs beat the Indians. We both were on huge droughts. The Cubs actually broke that drought. Cubs win. So yeah, man. Again, at the bottom line is this: if you're going to watch WWE, celebrate the moments when there actually is something good happening. At Super ShowDown, we saw sports entertainment. Super ShowDown did exactly what it was supposed to be. It's set up, and I made a video about it. Check it out on the Crave Wrestling page if you haven't yet. Matter of fact, it's over 1,000 views, like 1,300, over 1,300 views right now. Thank you for that. Very supportive of that. Very thankful for that support. But yeah, just at this point, it's sports entertainment. That's what it's all about. And Super Showdown did exactly what it was supposed to do as far as setting up people to be in positions for the current era to get over. People complaining about Goldberg so much. Dude, listen, his sole purpose to win the championship is to put a current talent over. That is the sole purpose of Goldberg winning the championship. People acting like Goldberg's going to be like on SmackDown every week, like leading the pack. Like, no, he's going to have a 4-week run as the champion. What's up, Elvis? What's up, Mike? I appreciate y'all joining in. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a sole, like Marissa agrees. He's having his sole purpose is to put over Roman Reigns, a current era. Evan's sending me something. I don't know. He just sent me something like a minute ago. I don't know. I can't look at it now. I'm on the show live. We're live, pal. Come jump on. Let me give you the info. I think he might be driving or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, the sole purpose is to put over a new a current era person, and he's not going to be there every week. He's not going to be thank you, Brian. Exactly. And people are acting like he's going to be the new weekly person doing all the flips and Canadian destroyers. And it's like, come on, man. We have to understand the purpose of this. The purpose of Goldberg being a 5-week champion is to have that crowning moment at WrestleMania for a current era star to win the title, to be one of the top names. Do you understand? Do people understand? Do the people understand it? And James, I'm gonna add your comment on this here, because I was going to talk about Bray Wyatt as well. Thoughts on the Fiend and Cena, Chris? It has the making of a good match. Another one where the Fiend could come out massive. Exactly. And guess what? Would the Fiend have won at WrestleMania if the Fiend would have retained the Universal Championship at Super Showdown? Would he have won at WrestleMania? Nope. He would have lost to Roman Reigns. So the Fiend would have taken an L regardless. That's known. The Fiend would have lost the match regardless. Why not lose the match at Super Showdown to have the crowning huge moment at WrestleMania? If I had the chance, if I had the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to lose at Super Showdown and still be protected. People are just glossing over that. He was still protected. He ate 3 spears and took a jackhammer and popped up after the jackhammer. So obviously Vince isn't burying him or is not done with him and all that crap that people are saying. He's not buried. It was for a purpose, and it actually benefits Bray Wyatt because he would have lost at WrestleMania. Now he's going to beat John Cena. Do we understand that? We have to really grasp that and get out of our feelings, get out of our emotions and say, okay, well, I guess at the end of the day, it actually benefits John Cena. It actually benefits Bray Wyatt to beat John Cena. Otherwise, we would have got it rumored, John Cena versus Elias. It was what the rumor was. John Cena would have had some just random moment, would have beaten Elias probably. Well, definitely would have beat Elias. And it just would have been that. Now a John Cena appearance means much more because he actually is going to put a new current era star over. So you have Drew getting over, Roman getting over, The Fiend getting over. 3 names of the current era getting over from Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. 1 Hall of Famer, 2 shoe-in Hall of Famers. That is perfect. What else could you ask for? I mean, you have Hogan Rock at WrestleMania 18. You have Zbyszko and Bruno, 1980. You have Hogan and Andre, even to an extent. So this is the quintessential torch passing moment. Marissa, you know, PG, Wrench Mob, got it. No profanity on the chat. So the thing is, if it's again, exactly, Brian, torch passing. This is a torch passing moment. This is what people have been complaining about for so long. Why you have all the part-timers come in? You need all the part-timers to come in and get all the boost all the ratings. Okay, so guess what? At WrestleMania, oh, no worries, Marissa. At WrestleMania, you're going to have current era Drew become WWE champion, current era Roman Reigns become Universal champion, current era Fiend beat John Cena. What else could you ask for? Current era Rhea Ripley most likely beat Charlotte, who's a 10-time champion. So you have 4 names of the current era who's going to get over at WrestleMania 36. Like, this is one of the most listen, go back to the archives of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. This is the 8th WrestleMania that the Pancakes and Powerslams show have been a part of. Go back to all the other WrestleManias except for 33. I put 33 over a lot. I put 33 over a lot because I liked it, because I liked the whole I liked the feel of 33. It was a good feel to it. But I said, you know what, if Taker comes back after 33, because 33 was like number one. 17 is the GOAT. 17 is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. But 33 was up there to me. When I was there, I saw it. I loved when Reigns beat Taker. A huge Taker fan, but I like when Roman Reigns beat him. I was like, you know what? If Taker comes back, I'm not going to feel the same way. It's not going to be the greatest of all time again. It's going to like go way down, and that's what happened. Taker came back. First of all, Braun Strowman turned Roman Reigns over in an ambulance after he had one of the most memorable moments in WWE Raw history. It's my yard now. One of the most memorable moments, one of the biggest jeers. There you go. But you kind of squelched that by having him being turned over by Braun Strowman. But it actually helped Braun Strowman. Again, something else people don't realize. We want to be caught up in our smart mark feelings again. Here's the thing. When Roman Reigns beat Taker, it was for the purposes of feeding his heat to Braun Strowman. But we don't want to talk about that. Braun Strowman benefited the most from Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker. And he's even said it. If it wasn't for his feud with Roman Reigns, he wouldn't be where he is now. And I totally agree. Roman Reigns was very pivotal in shifting the career of Braun Strowman to become a main event superstar, because he started feuding with Roman right after Roman beat Taker. So they had some hard hitting matches. Braun started getting way over by feuding with Roman Reigns. So it actually benefited Braun Strowman. Got the biggest benefit from Taker losing at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman might as well have beaten Taker at 33 because Reigns beat Taker and then gave the heat to Braun. So again, we don't want to talk about that. We want to complain about Roman Reigns. Yeah, shoved down her throat. Okay, so there was a 2-year drought before he became champ. He won the WWE Championship, didn't even win at WrestleMania 34. And there was a 2-year drought before he came champ again. So he definitely wasn't shoved down our throats. People like The Miz, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Big Show, all have super positive things to say. I actually know people in the WWE who says much positive things. He's had wonderful matches against AJ Styles, wonderful matches against Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, even Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio when he was still there, Rusev, put the United States title back on the map. So there's really at this point, it's just like, well, people were going to boo both of them. And, I was going back and forth on Wrestling Rumors about that on the Facebook page. And people were like, well, we're going to, we can't stand either one of them. And we're going to, boo them both. Did you hear the chants on SmackDown? You both suck. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. First of all, don't allow your brain to think that the minor is the major. And that's the reason why a lot of people get so bent out of shape because of things happening within the pro wrestling, arena. Here's the thing. There was a small fraction of people. It's funny because people want to think what they want to think. It's cognitive dissonance at its finest. Here's what happened at SmackDown. People are like, well, you heard those chants. Did you watch SmackDown? You heard those chants of "you both suck," and I'm like, okay, yes, I did, but it was a small fraction of the crowd who said that, and the chant died down after seconds. So that goes to show that the majority don't feel what you feel. So, what's up, Mo? You had a stomach ache. How you feeling, man? Hope you feeling better. Hope you're feeling better. But yeah, so that's my rant on on Roman Reigns and Goldberg. I think it's perfect. I think it's a big fight feel. That's what WrestleMania is about. WrestleMania is about the glitz, the glamour, the big fight feel. That's what it was about. And again, Brian, you were hitting in all cylinders tonight, man. It's still a win for WWE because the crowd was into it. Exactly. This right here is exactly right. It's still a win for the WWE because the crowd was into it. Period. And so listen, you can complain all you want, but guess what? You're going to watch the product. You're going to watch you're going to watch WrestleMania. And it's like, look, you can complain all you want. I've complained plenty of times on the show because the booking is terrible. The storylines are bad. The development of wrestlers are bad. But again, it's the same thing as like I'm a WWE lifer, just like most of us are. And we're gonna say I'm gonna cancel the network. No, you're not. I'm not gonna watch WrestleMania. Yes, you are. So, Mo, we're talking about Roman Reigns, Goldberg, and winning the title, and Roman Reigns, and how much I support that idea. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to watch WrestleMania. You're not going to cancel the network, and if you do cancel the network, you'll pick it back up in a month or two. So, just don't be so butthurt about what's going on. Because personally, I'm more excited about this WrestleMania than I have been in years. I mean, like at least a decade. Why? Because Roman Reigns' current era is going to get over. Drew McIntyre, especially Drew McIntyre. The Raw segment was amazing. The Raw segment with him and Brock was awesome. I loved it. Listen, I am a big fan of a few things in WWE right now. Like a big fan. I'm a big fan of Goldberg winning because I'm a Goldberg fan. He's one of my top 10 of all time. And he's doing it for the purposes of putting a current era star, Roman Reigns, who's also my favorite WWE person. So I'm cool. I'm happy about that. I don't like The Fiend. I don't like his character. He's a heel. I'm not supposed to like him. However, I love the fact that they're going to give him heat. I love it. I love the fact he better win. He better beat John Cena. He better get heat. And so the purpose of getting heat is to pass it over to the babyface. So Bray Wyatt winning at WrestleMania would do just that. And he's a current era guy, and that's exactly what they're going to do with him. They're going to have him have that big quality win against John Cena. 6 years ago, they went against each other at 30 in New Orleans, and Cena won. Here's Bray Wyatt's retribution. We saw it with Bray Wyatt, and we saw it with Rusev. They were main event names, one of the highest pushed names, went against John Cena at WrestleMania, and this is what happened. They got yanked back because of that. Now, Bray Wyatt has an opportunity 6 years later to say, you know what? I'm going to get my retribution. And the storyline can write itself. It really writes itself because Bray's talked about Daniel Bryan. He starts showing older stuff, and I think the storyline speaks for itself. It's perfect. It's a perfect arc. It's almost foolproof. Now WWE has done a very bad job with fooling foolproof stuff, but I think this I think that this really has an opportunity to really write for itself, because it's perfect. The only thing you have to do is play, the whole hurt heel thing. He's the Fiend because he's kind of going back and forth in his mind and all that, and you can definitely say, what's going on, Rodney? Good to see you, brother. It's easy to say it's a perfect storyline, perfect, because essentially what you could do, you can start playing older stuff from 6 years ago, from WrestleMania. He beat me at WrestleMania. I want my retribution. He can do all of that. It's easy to do that. And then he wins. And someone actually beat a new person, a new current era star would actually beat John Cena at WrestleMania. So that's huge, man. And then let's talk about Rhea Ripley. One of the hottest names in all of WWE right now. One of my favorites in NXT. And she'll beat Charlotte Flair. Keep her title, she'll be over. So you really are in the makings at the end of WrestleMania. You really are in the makings of having 4 current stars be made or made even more. That is exactly what y'all wanted, right? That's exactly what y'all wanted. So I really don't understand the point of complaining. So I'm glad I had my show to get that out. All right, let's talk about Revolution. I know that's a lot of y'all's thing was Revolution. Revolution was a solid pay-per-view. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed the Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page. I enjoyed that match. Good story with MJF and Cody. I did like that. The crowd went bananas with Moxley and Jericho, so I'll give them that. I've never been a Moxley guy, just personally, never been a Moxley guy. Yeah, my favorite match of the night was the Bucks versus Page and Omega. That was a really good match. Cassidy and Pac. Yeah, served its purpose, right? Wasn't a big fan of Dustin. And here's the thing. I like Dustin Rhodes. I've been a Dustin Rhodes supporter for a long time. but Dustin Rhodes is 50 years old, and Goldberg is 53 years old. Y'all chant Dustin, but y'all boo Goldberg. You chant 50-year-old Dustin, but you boo 53-year-old Goldberg. And then Taker turns 54. He's and you chant Undertaker when AJ comes out, who's 44. I don't get the logic. I don't understand the logic. So yeah, just it's weird to me. I think, Taker be 55 before WrestleMania. He was born in 65, I believe. AJ was born in 77, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 77 or 76? I think it was 77 that AJ was born. Yes, 77. So he's 12 years younger than The Undertaker. But you chant for the 55-year-older and not the 43-year-older. AJ will be 44 this year. So the 55-year-older, yes, but the 44 or the 43, he'll be 43. He's born in 77. The 43-year-old, no, but the 55-year-old, yes. Swagger's or Hager's what, 36? So what? Let me do the math here. I think Hager was born in 83 or 84. 82. So the 37-year-old, no, but the 50-year-old, yes. The 37-year-old, no, but the 50-year-old, yes. But you call the 53-year-old Oldberg, but you chant the 50-year-older, and then the 55-year-older, you cheer him over the 43-year. Okay, I don't get it. I really don't understand. I don't get it. And the 53-year-older is champ to help the 34-year-older. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I don't get it. Roman Reigns is what, 34 now? Yes, 34. Yeah, right. Exactly, Brian. I'm confused now. I don't get it. You got the 50, you boo the 53, you cheer the 55, and then you cheer the 50, but you called the 53 old, but cheer the 55 against the 42. But cheer the 50 against the 37. Okay. That's fans for you, buddy. That's fans. So that goes to show how important it is to build characters, build good guys, and build really venomous, vile, venomous bad guys, and that's what will happen. So, but yeah, AEW was solid. Yeah, I mean, the tag match really stood out to me more than anything. That really stood out to me for sure. Like I said, I've never been a Moxley guy. Just never been a Moxley guy. I mean, it's not bad. He's not bad. Give him the title. Well done, Moxley. Well done. I appreciate Moxley winning the championship. The crowd was bananas in Chicago. I get it. I'm cool with it. Personally, it just didn't I didn't mark out for it or anything like that. I knew he was going to win, but it just really didn't too much. It just didn't do too much for me, honestly. Because I'm into characters, man. Listen, I'm a traditional wrestling fan. At the end of the day, no matter where you go, you're going to end to good guys versus bad guys. Because listen, wrestling is not real. It's choreographed. It's comic book characters come to life. It's staged. It's pre-planned. The punches aren't real. Shh. The punches aren't real. Like, we need to get back to that, okay? We need to understand that this art form we call pro wrestling or sports entertainment, if someone is, when you see a punch, it's not a punch, okay? Because if someone punched me in the face, I would punch them, I would knock them out. So the chops are real. Yes, they want to, they want, right? I'm telling the secret. The punches aren't real. Pro wrestling is choreographed. I'm sorry. So we got to get back to that. And what suspends our disbelief? Investing in characters. And so that's why Chris Jericho is the best character in AEW. I appreciate Jericho. I appreciate Pac, because they're really good heels. People love to hate him, and that's exactly what a heel should be. And guess what happened with Moxley? People were booing Jericho, and the bigger the boos got for Jericho, the bigger the cheers got for Moxley. So when Jericho won, there was some inner circle trying to interfere. Hager hit him, Guevara, like, that's what happened. He was getting heat. The bigger the heat was, the bigger the pop is. Whoa, that's professional wrestling. And that's characters. And that's the importance of characters. And so Jericho is a great character. He's an excellent heel. Guess what? People cheer Roman Reigns more than they ever have. Why? Because Baron Corbin is the best heel in the WWE. Whoa, the same Roman Reigns that we've been booing for years since his singles run started in 2014. The same Roman Reigns. Whoa, wait a minute. Why are we cheering him now? we start booing him a few months after he announced that he came back from leukemia. Come on now, like, people. Evan and I were there in New Jersey last year. People were booing Roman Reigns, and this was mere weeks after he said this was mere weeks after he said that he was back from, I'm in remission, y'all. Like, he said that. Mere weeks after he said that he's in remission and he's back, he fought leukemia and he beat leukemia. He beat cancer. Mere weeks after. He didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do anything bad. He actually had Drew McIntyre try to ruin the show, set up a match for WrestleMania. Mere weeks after that, people started booing him for reasons undetermined. Just because. But guess what? Baron Corbin comes in the scene. People hate Baron Corbin. And Roman Reigns gets cheered now more than he's ever been cheered in his singles career. Why? Because he's going against a good heel. Same thing when he last summer when he was feuding against Shane McMahon. People hated Shane McMahon. People were booing Shane McMahon. They were cheering Roman Reigns. Not because of anything he did, which they should have, but not because of Roman Reigns per se. It's because the heels were so good that they started cheering Roman. And that's what it's all about. That's what people, that's how we get intrigued in the pro wrestling. That's how we get excited about pro wrestling, because of that dynamic. And guess what? That dynamic will never go away, because at the end of the day, this is all staged. So we know the wrestlers know. They look at a board and they look at a board. You see that board right there? They look at a big board backstage and they look at the results. They come in and they look at the matches and they look at the results and they talk. Either they say, okay, well, here's the match. I'm supposed to go over. This is how we're going to do the match. They'd say that, or they're going to say, we're going to call it on the fly. Ric Flair, he was a calling on the fly guy. Randy Savage, he was a big meticulous move by move guy. Same thing with Ricky Steamboat, move by move. But Flair on the other end, no, we're going to call it on the fly. So that's how they have their conversations. But they know who's going to win. The purpose is they know, but we don't know. So they're supposed to allow us to make it seem like they don't know. This is Wrestling 101, ladies and gentlemen. So, good comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Baron got real heat. Antoine says, even me, I never disliked a heel before, but Baron, he really irked me. See, look, and that's the thing. If you're a good heel, it don't matter if I want to like you. I'm going to still dislike you. Right there, that makes you a really good heel. And you know what? As many people want to crap on JBL, and he's done some crap-worthy stuff. JBL was a good heel. He was a very, very good heel. So, yeah, Baron almost has that old school heat where fans wants to rush into the ring again, absolutely, 100%, absolutely. Marissa said she's never heard me so opinionated before. You know what? I had to preach a little bit. Okay, I had to get into my pulpit, if you will, and I had to kind of refresh the people. I had to refresh the people about what we enjoy about this thing called wrestling. It's not because the punches are real. It's not because the kicks are real. It's because in our lives, in our minds, daggone it, the characters are real. And we want the good guys to win and the bad guys to lose. And that's what wrestling is all about. We've gotten so kind of disjointed of what wrestling is. We don't watch wrestling. Like, do you understand? Let me watch this. Watch this. We actually listen. We actually turn our TV on. Men, grown men like myself with a wife and 3 kids. We actually turn the TV on to watch men in underwear with nothing on but underwear doing choreographed moves. Something better keep us watching. Something better hook us. Something better keep us driving. Because do you get that? Me, married, wife, 3 kids, about to be a doctor in a few months. Every week I turn on the TV to half naked, 3/4 naked man competing against other 3/4 naked man in our television screens. And I know that the moves aren't real. Come on now. We got to kind of get back into what we understand and what we appreciate about professional wrestling. So big ups to Chad. Chris is the real people's champ. So yeah, he agrees. Right. Dang, people get me all the time, remind me that I watch men in underwear doing fake moves. Exactly. Right. So we got to get back to why we endorse this. Like, we're endorsing naked, man in underwear going against other men in underwear doing fake moves. And we have to kind of appeal that to the masses. So it's like, That's why kayfabe is something. That's why we're defending kayfabe. We're not defending men in underwear competing against each other. We're defending kayfabe. And when kayfabe goes away, we don't have much to defend here. Come on now. When kayfabe is over with, we say, well, we enjoy man in underwear fake fighting. What's wrong with that? That's what we're defending if kayfabe goes away. So without further ado, the man, Evan Tech Proud. How are you tonight, sir?
I ain't feeling the best. My throat is jacked up. The Illuminati, you saw
My
the
throat
video.
is jacked up.
Yes, tear in my eye. Get out of here,
What a
Russian
tear in
world.
my eye.
Yes, I am mighty Russian winds like the Old Testament. I sent you the video like 20 minutes ago. How it went out 4 times. Good thing I just got off air. Tear in my eye from allergies. Up in the mountains all week. Throat is jacked up, but it's fine. I heard Wrestling 101. I heard church.
Yes.
People booing Oldberg, but
Yeah.
he chanting 50-year-old natural Dustin Rhodes.
Right. Right.
It makes no sense. I'm trying to understand.
And 55-year-old The Undertaker, by the way.
Yeah, 55 taker. So I'm trying to understand the hypocrisy and logic of wrestling. You boo Goldberg, but you cheer Dustin. Then you kind of boo Taker, but you have boo Taker, but you like him. Then there's no authority because Roman Reigns could just download DLC and say I'm next. So now he's number 1 contender.
Yeah.
Moxley can just be the renegade and he wins the title.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Where's the authority?
No.
People can just download and make matches or what have you, but
Right.
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm fighting through the allergies and these brand wins and this ring.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see here. So Mo, the AEW lover, I'm sure he thought Revolution was the greatest thing since the invention of the wheel and sliced bread, since Ico Pro and WWE tout.
Right.
You know, I'm
It's
speaking
a
for Mo.
WBF.
I don't see Lexi, so Lexi's still healed, so that street's still healed.
Yeah,
Lexi
she came up. She came at the beginning too, so she's healing.
Yeah, she's doing the old school thing. She popping in the first hour.
Right.
Just be watching. You gonna see it for the next 2.
And the Rafters, they're staying.
In the Rafters, right? See Lexi.
Yeah. Okay, so Brian wants to so he's reminding me what would be my ring name be? What would my ring name be? Let me find the original question. Yeah, the one tough guy in the mean show. Let me find your question, Brian. It's way up here.
What's going on, guys?
Let me see where your question is. It was a good one. I got into my pulpit.
I heard.
Yeah, I got into.
Did you cover all the Revolution yet?
PNP Church, man. PNP Church. No, I cover Revolution mostly. Again, hashtag Ask Chris. Also, if you have questions for Evan as well, hashtag Ask Evan.
Something.
I can't find the question is way up here, but Brian was asking, what would my ring name be if I was to be a WWE or a pro wrestler or a WWE guy? It would be Axeman. That was my big name. I Axeman, AXEMAN, and that was my name. Like when I was playing like Raw and like WWE Attitude, and then I started playing No Mercy, and that had a character named Axeman on like Attitude. Yeah, and so I and that was like 99 or something like that, 98. And so I used that Axeman, and then I got WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy. No Mercy. My 2 sons, 7 and 5, they play No Mercy every single day on 64. They love No Mercy. 20 years later, They are still huge fans of No Mercy.
Have you introduced them to Revenge of World Tour?
Nope. You know what? Because I lost every single one of my 64 games except for.
I got those. I mean, I'm at the. I have connections in there. I have to get my little nephews a little copy.
Yeah.
And get them WCW versus the World.
They love it, and so like, it's funny because my 5-year-old, they're all my kids, they love Jesus and are good Christian kids, but kids are kids, and they have their days just like adults. And I gave Ian, my middle one, my youngest son, my middle child, I gave him an incentive. I said, you know what, if you're good at this is last year at daycare, he'll be in kindergarten next year, next school year. So I said, you know what, if you're good for one week, 5 days, 5 straight days, you would be able to play wrestling again, because we took some wrestling restrictions away from him. This dude was like an angel the entire week, because I said wrestling's going away, and as soon as you're good for a week, you'll get to play wrestling again. And so he killed it like the whole week at daycare. He was like, yeah, this is my 5th straight day I get to play wrestling. And so I'm telling you, wrestling, you know what, if I had I've thought about like doing some type of study, like, because I'm about to be a doctor in psychology.
Right.
I'm thinking about doing a study of some sort, of writing a paper, an article, like a peer-reviewed journal article, about the benefit of pro wrestling to children. And I know for me, it kept me out of a lot.
You got it too.
Man, it kept me out of
wrestling,
a lot of trouble.
Video games.
Yep.
I bet statements and speeches on pro wrestling.
Absolutely. And same thing, with my kids, man. It's like it gets them out of a lot of trouble because it becomes an incentive. It becomes an incentive for them, and it helps them a lot.
That's great.
Got some good questions here. Marissa's asking me what my thoughts and your thoughts, Evan, on Undertaker winning the trophy. See, that was one of the things, like I said, I have a lot of good things to say about Super Showdown. That was probably my biggest critique. If the plan was to do Taker AJ, don't just waste it. Don't waste a loss from AJ like that, because at the end of the day, thanks, Jamie. Yeah, man, that's motivation to do it, actually. So
yeah, we'll be
to do the studies. I think that's something I most likely would do. But yeah, that was my biggest critique about Super Showdown, because at the end of the day, like, Aleister Black took the brunt of all this, because Styles gave him his first singles loss on Raw, and it was, I understand they were trying to protect him. He beat Anderson and Gallows. I get that, but at the end of the day, it was still a bad. And I get the fact that they're trying to make AJ a stronger name. I get why they did it all, but at the end of the day, it's like, don't use Aleister Black in that. Like, don't use someone who wasn't really. He didn't have many marks on him, main roster marks.
Right.
He really didn't have the battle scars that someone like Apollo Crews has. You know what I mean? And so he really didn't have the battle scars that, and he didn't need them right now. He needs to look protected. He needs to look like a star. He doesn't need to be all battered and wounded. And I think that was a battle scar moment on Monday. I think it hurt him, and he did it to make AJ look better, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't necessary. And at the end of the day, it's like they could have saved, ideally, and it would have had the same impact. Ideally, what they could have done is they could have made AJ look like a star by winning the trophy. I think AJ should have won the trophy. I think he should have just beat Mysterio. I mean, I think you should have just had a regular match between AJ and Mysterio have been amazing, and have AJ win at the end, and then say I'm the best. There's no one who can beat me. There's no other era. You cut a promo after you beat Ray and have the trophy, and then that's when you have Undertaker come out. I think it was bad booking to say, okay, we beat up Mysterio, and then Taker beat up Anderson and Gallows, and then Taker comes out and then choke slams AJ. It takes a lot of the luster away from it. If if Taker already beat Styles by one choke slam. Now, and again, I get it. It's a heel. He wasn't ready. It's easy to recover from that promo wise from a heel. That's why I always say heels are meant to lose. Like heels are built to lose. That's what heels do. So I get it and I understand that, but I think you could have made an adjustment by not having AJ lose to a choke slam. I get it. He wasn't ready. He turned around. I get all the nuances, and I'm not really banging on the nuances too much. But at the end of the day, I think it would have been better if AJ would have picked up the win against Mysterio, just a clean match, and then cut the promo heel, and then get the rub. You know, he would have got the rub from Mysterio, and then get the spot from Taker. So, yeah. And then after that, what would have happened was AJ would have been upset that Taker came out and ruined his moment. It would have been more like I want retribution from Taker for ruining my moment than Taker already beat me with a choke slam, but now I want a match against him.
You know, who asked that question, I appreciate it, but Marissa is like, you ever go to Burger King, order fries, and just get that one onion ring? It's like, okay. It's nice, and that's it. No one. How many times have we watched Saudi Arabia? These makeshift downloadable content trophies. It doesn't matter. Mandor, whatever his name is, Mandor won one of them last year. Mansoor won. Yeah. He won. And then the Greatest Royal Rumble. No one cares. You don't care. Then you got a trophy. You can't say the name of it. A Tondi, whatever it's called. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
What is the motivation? Taker being up Addison and Gallows. You know, I'm good friends with AJ. So it doesn't make sense. No. You're trying to you're trying to force us to care about AJ against Taker. No, and then he lied to us the dream match. Shut up. The dream match. Who asked to see AJ against Taker? No one.
Nobody. No. Nobody.
It's like when AJ went against Cena. They was putting that down our throats. The dream match. No one no one ever wanted to see AJ and Cena either. It was AJ and Orton. We wanted to see that. So now it's like, okay, we gotta keep forcing AJ down your throat. Yep. You don't care. Taker looked out of shape.
Yeah,
he beat you with one move. It's like Dragon Ball Z. You beat somebody, freezes you to one beam, you die, you come back to life. It's stupid. Did he even grab the trophy? No.
Right. Exactly. He just walked away.
He walked away. It's like, who cares, man?
It can remind me of like you know how No Mercy you had like 4 options, like you had the character with like 4 different outfits.
Right.
So if you just push the right button, you'll go to a different outfit. Taker reminded me of like you play No Mercy, you go to the Undertaker, and you get the outfit with him with the hat and the robe on.
Right.
And that's the outfit that he comes out to. And that's exactly what happened. Like he literally
didn't even take his coat off.
He didn't even take his hat and coat off.
You lost to a man with a church hat
and a 54-year-old man, almost 55-year-old man with his hat and
with his entrance attire.
Still, or with his entrance attire still
just
on.
Creative wrestler.
54, almost 55, 1 choke slam, but somehow we're supposed to get excited about Taker AJ. And to be honest with you, I'm totally, as you saw on this show, I have a lot of positive things to say about WrestleMania 36. This is one of the negative things I have to
This
say.
match will be like
I'm
last
not
year in
looking
New York.
forward. Yeah, I'm not
You
looking
saw it.
forward.
This match is going to be like Reigns against Drew last year,
Yep.
like Shane against Taker, Hell in the Cell.
Yep, for 32.
No one cares. It's going
Yep.
to be a bathroom break. Let me get some merchandise. Let me get a snack. Once we see Taker take 80 years to go down to the ring,
Yeah.
pull his eyes in the back of his head, and take another 3 minutes to take his hat off and his coat. I'm going to get a snack.
Yeah, and I, you know what? I agree. I agree with
We're
you.
both going to get out, Malik.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the aura, the allure of Taker coming out of WrestleMania. Now here's the problem though. See, I think it'll be good for this year because it's in Tampa and because it's East Coast time. But I'm
going to see lights.
I'm wondering with things like the Fiend next year in LA, Taker next year in LA, like how they have to book them right, because at 31 they jacked up Bray, they jacked up Sting, and it was terrible. It was terrible. How in the world can you come out in the daylight if you're Sting?
Oh, you wait. we better not see the good old sun.
Yeah,
if they could come out. Don't want to get me started. We won't be and it's in LA next year, and that's gonna be outside again.
Yep. Yep.
So I mean, no one cares about the where is the trophy? That is no one cares to
Right.
go back to the
Trophy
warehouse.
still in Saudi.
In Saudi, who cares?
Just like
the
Braun Strowman shipped the the green belt back. the greatest World Rumble championship. And you know what's so funny, because the original plans was for him to actually start carrying that title, and then they dropped it. They stopped. They nixed the idea of him actually carrying the title around. So that was interesting.
And like my cousin said, why is in Saudi Arabia every time it's always a DLC person winning? Just downloadable. Shane won the World Cup thing. Mm-hmm. He just downloaded and replaced. Was it Ziggler? Whoever you replaced?
Yep.
What is he done? Where's that? Who did he replace?
Miz. It was
Miz.
Yeah. Yep.
What? Taker, just out the blue, wins. Since when does Taker really care about any titles?
Right. Yeah. All right, cool. So we have about 10 minutes left. So let's jump into these real quick. Marissa, EC. Actually, we're going to do predictions on that real quick after the headlines. And Ryan asked also real quick, how long do we see Roman and Drew keeping the belts? I think I can see both of them to at least SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then the fans will be mad. They're going to boo Reigns like they always been.
Forgetting
the fact that Reigns has been out of the title picture for over 2 years.
Right. Right.
He hasn't even main evented anything.
Right. Right.
And by the way, I know it's kind of the guilty pleasure. If Goldberg and Reigns main event Mania, the boos you will hear, that will get booed away.
It'll be Drew and Brock. They're going to have that.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's hope so.
I might. Roman Reigns is my favorite WWE. I might boo Reigns if it's.
I'm telling you, I just got off my show and said this. My Mama told. If Goldberg and Roman Reigns main event Mania, if you was there with me in New Orleans, it's going to be when Brock fought Reigns and no one cared. People was playing with the beach balls. Remember the beach balls? They got mad. No one cared. People got up and left. So let's praise Drew against Brock. And I like the little 3-2-1 thing he does.
Yeah, it'll be
Playboy.
Yeah, it'll be. I can see it. It has to be. All right, real quick. Let's do this one. Who is the only female cruiserweight champion in WWE history? Who is the only female cruiserweight champion in WWE history? Only female cruiserweight champion and WWE, as who said that?
How's love?
Oh yeah,
who does the movies now? Yeah,
I love double E.
That's one of them VHS.
Is jacked now, man.
Yeah, he does movies.
Yeah, Ole.
Speaking of things not changing, look at this, guys. Who did he see on this cover?
Who we see? Goldberg and Lesnar.
This is from 2003. What were we all doing in 2003? And these are your current world champions of the WWE. Goldberg and Brock, which will not even be an Elimination Chamber this Sunday. They're probably going to be watching it at home, like we will be.
Yep. Ivory, no. Lita, no. Jazz, no. China, no. Jacqueline, yes. Good job, Antoine.
Mo, you actually know WWE trivia?
Double E.
I thought Mo was on AEW now.
Right. You know some man. What was the first match of the first event, the first day in 2019? And where was the location? And what was the first word that Tony Schiavone said on that day?
What was the first color, the first light that shined on Dynamite? No, I'm thinking like,
what were the ring ropes and the turnbuckle colors of the location of the event? And what
was the first commercial, the first word? What was the last camera angle shot of the last Dynamite?
Right.
I'm picking a few Mo. AEW Mo.
He said he's a true WWE fan.
Yeah, no.
We just
what's our man that was it Elvis the G to be coming up with the crappy booking?
Yeah.
Let's see, like Rey Mysterio against Brock.
For the Universal Championship.
Right.
I'd like to see Kurt Hawkins versus what's his name?
Mojo.
Who's the announcer's name? Byron Saxton. Yeah. All right, real quick, y'all. We're going to zoom through these. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Headlines. Here we go. Got Kevin Nash lobbying for Eric Bischoff to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm totally on board with that. Bischoff should absolutely be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Are you kidding me?
Why is he not in the NWO? Why is X-Pac in it?
I agree. Totally.
It should be Bischoff, all good buddy, the boss Hoss Bischoff, Hogan, Hall, and Nash.
I totally agree. And to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. It should be, if they have a fourth person, I mean, no disrespect to Pac, he's in the Hall of Fame, though. Like, if you think of like the list of the two-time Hall of Famers, you got Booker T, you got Shawn Michaels,
Ric Flair,
Hollywood, Hulk Hogan now, and Hulk Hogan. You got the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. You got all those names, and then you have X-Pac. Oh, wait a minute. So it's like,
just wait.
I'm a huge supporter of Pac being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I've said this so much times. Pac deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I was super happy that they actually chose him to be a part of Generation X. However, it's I would imagine Pac, kind of at least considering what I'm saying here, if he would listen to this. There's an elite class of two-timers, because if you make something so common, it loses its luster, it loses uniqueness. And so having Pac in the Hall of Fame twice as in exchange of having Eric Bischoff in there once, with the NWO, it just makes no sense of how that actually came about. It just seems like it's a Triple H move. They just want to click together.
It is. Oh, and you just wait. You just wait to the next 3-4 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be evolution.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
time the triple threat.
Three-time Hall of
Famer. Ric Flair, Triple H.
Right.
You know,
I can
come
see
on,
that
man.
happening. I can see
You
Ric
know.
Flair being a 3-time Hall of Famer. I can see him going there with Evolution. I can see, and then he'll be a 4-time Hall of Famer with going in with another incarnation of the Horseman. So he'll be in.
Remember with Sid Paul Roma?
Yeah,
He'll
go in with them, and then he'll go in with
Dean Malenko.
Yeah, he'll go in with Mongo.
You gonna add Mondo? You
Yeah.
gonna add Fat Barry Windham before he lost weight for the third time?
Kevin Green, yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Green.
Yep. All right, let's real quick. Tito Ortiz interested in coming into the WWE now. First of all, kudos to Tyson Fury for being unashamed of the gospel. Huge. I love that. So, WWE likes the celebrity. They like the celebrity feel, and you can't blame them. That's the best way to brand yourself is to cross over. It's Ronda Rousey. It worked. Tito Ortiz, I wouldn't give him a title or anything like that. I would be interested in him. Whoever is like a shoot fighter right now, I'd be interested in him. I'd imagine like him and Lashley would be pretty dope to see.
They're gonna put him against Brock. You already know. Any shoot fighter come in.
I'm not interested in Tito versus Brock though. I'm just.
But I don't care either. But it's gonna be. I mean, he has the biggest name in Tyson Fury as far as historical value. ESPN is going to.
Yeah, but not nowadays though. Like Tyson, like he's up there. He's like
Tyson is,
especially since he beat Deontay.
he knocked that boy down.
Deontay Wilder.
I mean, for historical purposes though, the UFC stuff, the Disney thing, and the Fox, Tito Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget, guys. Tito Ortiz was in Impact for like a week and a half.
Yep, sure was.
With Rampage Jackson and Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah.
That's tough. Don't get me started.
Him and Truth, Pac-Man and Truth won the tag titles, I believe.
With the worst theme song in history. Man,
it was.
Yeah, he won it.
It was tag team titles. I think they won. Speaking of that, man, watch if you haven't yet. Anyone who's watching this, if you haven't yet, watch our troops. Held the promotions tag team championship once. Yep. But when Jones's football team refused him permission to perform in the ring, Rashid Lucius Creed was added as a third man for the team's title defenses. And of course that's Xavier Woods. But yeah, if you haven't watched our Troops documentary yet, 24/7, watch it. It was incredible, absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, I need to watch some of this.
It was really, really good.
Yeah, and the Ruthless Aggression series.
Yeah, I've watched all of that one too. That was really good. Austin's interview with Show was pretty good too.
Yeah, it's sad, man. That era with so many people just gone.
Yeah, it is.
Gone now.
Yep. All right, latest on the Hardy Boys, real quick. Matt is not re-signing. So a lot of people, there's some Dark Order type of teasers again. I'm not really sold on Matt Hardy being the leader of the Dark Order because he's such a good, baby face with the Woken stuff. Again, I say, he's pushing 50. He ain't got much left in the tank. Why are you taking bumps if you're having an opportunity to, rub shoulders with Shawn Michaels and Triple H and build up new stars, in NXT? That's my personal opinion on it. Because I really don't see. They're not going to push Matt Hardy to a main event level, So, I think Luke Harper would benefit much more from being the leader of the Dark Order.
I think so.
But yeah,
I think so. But the longest Matt is creative.
because I don't.
guess he was creative.
But the thing is, I don't see people booing Matt Hardy though. Like I like Matt, especially with his Woken stuff.
Nah.
He owns the Woken stuff, so we'll probably see Woken again. Like that's creative, that's genius. Like I
Look at
would
the delete.
him. Like, he's like,
Look at the delete stuff.
yeah, exactly. When he starts doing delete, like fans are going to cheer that. And the Dark Order is no one likes the Dark Order and their fake punches. Like no one likes the Dark Order, and so
It is vignettes though.
it'll be really really weird though.
Hey, I'm not much for them, but their vignettes are pretty cool.
Yes, I agree.
I like Evil Uno,
but people just people don't like, in general, people don't like the Dark Order, and they're like a project gone bad. And yeah, I mean, it just him being a leader of a group that are meant to be heels and no one likes, and he's going to get cheered. It just doesn't make sense. As far as Jeff is concerned, WWE's bringing him back. He was on Backstage. They're bringing him back, and at this point, they're not really sure of what they're
going to SmackDown.
Yeah, so I don't see him lasting.
He's going to be the next challenger for the U.S. title, the IC title.
Yeah, what's on the IC titles on SmackDown now? Yeah, so yeah, not much with him. I think Jeff, should have an NXT spot too, as far as producer, Matt and Jeff. I think that would be cool. So, all right, let's jump into the flavor of the week. We got like 2 minutes left. Let's do this.
It is now time for the flavor of the week.
All right, so the flavor of the week this week is the worst WrestleMania other than WrestleMania 9. So we're going to do a fan's choice. Y'all let us know what the worst WrestleMania was other than WrestleMania 9. This might be a 2-weeker because a lot of people say 16, WrestleMania 2000, but I
2000 wasn't that bad.
I was cool with.
I got one.
What do you
WrestleMania
got?
11.
Oh, with LT?
Yeah, 11
that was bad. I agree. That was pretty bad. What was that WrestleMania? What was that full card for WrestleMania 11?
That was bad.
It's hard for me to think anything else. I mean, it was good for Bam Bam. That was his biggest moment, but I mean,
WrestleMania 36
for someone who they never gave the title, any title to, he never won a championship.
WrestleMania was getting similar to the Star Trek 30. Yeah, odd numbers was horrible. 13 wasn't that good either. Was it for Austin?
Allied Powers defeating the Blue Brothers. I remember that. I remember that
theme song. Yeah.
I love that theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have the Bulldogs national
and y'all compete with It's funny because like Lex Luger was always straining so off with his biceps. Davey Boy was all like Lex Luger's like,
oh man.
Get on some of that.
But I love that theme song though. Yeah.
I blasted it loud in New York.
That's one of my favorite theme songs of the 1990s because it was something so just electronic, just the riffs, it was just like super hard. I loved it. I'll probably listen to it right after we get off this show. But yeah, that was a bad one. What else I got real quick?
Brian said 13.
13. Brian says 13.
Sid and Taker, Austin and Brett.
What was okay? Taker, Sid, Ahmed and LOD again, defeating the NOD. Brett and Austin with Shamrock. Yeah, that was me. Yeah. 3, Brian. Really? You know what? I might have to agree with you.
Yeah, Brian, good one.
Yeah, because I mean, it was the biggest moment in WWE history, hands down. You know, with Hogan and Andre, but that full card was weak. It was really weak. I mean, of course, you had Savage and Steamboat in there too, so people would argue, you know, those two matches alone made the card. It was certainly one of the most memorable cards. Period. I agree. But the card overall was pretty weak. Can-Am Connection defeating Orton and Morocco, Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules double count out. I remember that. Hey, the Haiti Kid, Hillbilly Jim, and Little Beaver defeating King Little Tokyo and Little Lordbrook by DQ. Loser Must Bow match. Harley Race defeating Dream Team defeating Rougeau Brothers, Piper defeating Adonis, Danny Davis and Hart Foundation defeating Bulldogs, and Tito, Butch Reed defeating Coco, Steamboat Savage, Honky Tonk Man defeating Jake. Yep, I remember that. That's when Alice Cooper came out. Sheik and Volkov defeating Killer Bees, and DQ, and then Hogan and all. Yeah, that was a pretty weak card.
WrestleMania 2 wasn't all that good either.
Yeah, 2 was what Hogan and that was the three city. Yeah.
But you know what I'm gonna say? WrestleMania 27.
With Miz.
I was there, my first WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah.
Rocking with them tight jeans. That mania was. Oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I think I'll probably camp on 11. I think I'll probably say that's the worst one other than 9. Yeah, but I enjoy WrestleMania every year. I enjoy the feel of it, but like 11, there was just some that I just wasn't. Like 27 was one that I just didn't care about like at all. I didn't like Cena. I didn't like the Miz. I was just like, yeah. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to roll. It has been a pleasure. It's been such a pleasure to be with you all.
No.
PCO. Oh, real quick. Dan Severin actually was under the weather, so he wanted to.
Great guy, man.
So he was scheduled for the show tonight. He actually we've talked back and forth. He actually messaged me. Well, we've been chatting back and forth, but he messaged me earlier because he told me he wasn't feeling good. He was going to let me know, and then he messaged me and said that he wasn't feeling. He's still not feeling well. So, send my well wishes to Dan Severin and feeling better. So. Next week, who was on the docket for next week? I have scheduled for that. I'm gonna tell you all these names because I'm gonna tell you how I got scheduled. I'm actually booked until we are actually booked until March the 5th. I mean May the 5th. We're booked until May the 5th. So for the next 2 months, we're booked. Matter of fact, I just booked with somebody. Yep, I just confirmed another one. So yeah, May 5th. So we got everybody coming. We got for the next 2 months, PNP Nation. We are booked. So I'm going to tell y'all who was on the docket. All these people have confirmed these dates. So it's up to them to keep with it. Next week, we got Kid Cash. Kid Cash will be on the show next week. Actually, he goes to sleep earlier, so we'll do a video interview that I will play. I'll record a video interview. So I want to keep a video interview for y'all. And so you should be seeing, based on confirmation and Kid Cash video interview of Kid Cash on the show. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor, and we got some really cool names too. Actually, you know, out of all the names that are booked, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have never been on the show before. So that should be big fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. 414 episodes in the books. Big shout out to Evan Tech Prout for battling the sickness coming on the show. Prayers for you, my man, as far as speedy recovery.
Yeah,
and without further ado, big shout out to PCO actually for stepping up, because Severin told me this this afternoon. I called PCO this afternoon and I said, "Hey, PCO, Severin can't make it, so can you come through on the show tonight?" He said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So
PCO, great dude, man.
Yeah, cool people. So big shout out to PCO for doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for 440 episodes, Evan Tech Prout. Follow him at UTM at Tech_UTM.
Yes.
Go here. Patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams show. 3 months get the PNP t-shirt. 6 months gets the Wrench Mob t-shirt. So that's awesome.
We gotta go. We out of time.
We got a time. Tech UTMR. Go there. Follow him. And of course, follow what you see right there. Chris Prolific. That is me. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Have a enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I'll do it for you.
We gotta go.
Night, everybody. We gotta go. No, not like this. No,
you gotta do the